Just another Saturday night.
Well, A Dame to Kill For is a story about this damsel in distress named Ava.
It's tearing me up how much I love you.
And how she kind of uses men to get what she wants.
What did it feel like?
What?
Murdering an innocent man.
I think Frank Miller and I have probably one of the most unique working relationships in the business.
He lived these characters. He told me that that's what he would do. He'd be in his apartment drawing these people, getting up and feeling what these characters were going through.
You'd be smart to kill me now. I'll do far worse than kill you, boy.
If there was a depression that the character was going through, and he'd find himself severely depressed and forgetting that it was because of what he was doing. So it wasn't that he was manifesting something out of his depression. The characters came first, and then he would be reacting as if he was the character.
I used to draw. I'm a cartoonist, and really could appreciate the work that he always did. That's why I was such a huge fan of his. I knew what it took to make, you know, sequential art and line art and graphic draw and write at the same time, graphic novels, and he was just, you know, he's a world class. I'm the equivalent of me being a film student, him being a world-class director, but on paper.
It's kind of cool to watch the guys work off each other. You know, Frank has this vision in his head that he wants to play out, and Robert is capable of bringing those visions to life.
Shooting in 3D was Robert's idea. I at first didn't cotton to it. I generally don't like 3D movies. I tend to find them to be a bit like too rich cake. There's too many colors, too many things flying at me, and my brain doesn't want to process it all. But using the aesthetic of Sin City, it feels very different because the images are much simpler to the story point.
And action.
There's no strife there. There's complete trust between the two. So, you know, I may do something that Frank, you know, thinks can be more, I don't know, more specified, and he'll come up and he'll say, I think you should do this, or what do you think about this? And, you know, so yeah, it's truly co-directed.
You could tell everyone learned a lot since the first one. Green screen was very new back on the first film.
First time I worked on the green screen, it was a little odd, a little strange, you know. So I kind of got. This time around, I knew what it was going to be, and it was much. I felt much freer.
But it feels like you know, like you're on stage. You have the crew, who is the audience. It's great to have real actors with you. That always helps. You really get used to it. Weirdly, you know, it's theater.
You know, the first film was much loved, and people would come up to Frank and I a lot and say, "When's Sin City 2? When's Sin City 2?" We'd always say, "Oh, next year or 2 years from now," and somehow almost 10 years went by. But because it was always fresh in our minds and fresh in the minds of the fans, it didn't seem like it was that much time until we went and got all the actors together.
UP basketball! Basketball!
It doesn't really feel like that much time has passed. It doesn't feel like that we've been away from her, or that I've been away from her for so long. It's like stepping back into a family.
You're the only man I ever loved.
Once we got back on the set, it was just like old times, because it literally is the same set. It's the same green screen we used before. So the familiarity, the vibe, everything was intact, as if no time had passed.
Never lose control. Never let the monster out.